Check out this episode of the Patch Notes from the Pre-Patch Podcast.
But jump back into Siege and wanted to play out the new season, the new operator, new changes. And I got to say, like, I'm actually, so I want to have this discussion with you, Bill, because we talked about it on the show and last week, and we were talking about all the new changes, and we were talking about how the game is more slowed down. I feel opposite, man. I feel like the game is so much more fast paced now than what it used to be, especially like maybe it's because like I think we were talking about in your chat that
So
like
what do you mean by fast paced specifically?
so
Like what's fast? What do you feel is faster?
I feel like the defense meta is no longer like a kind of hold kind of thing. There's a lot more roaming that I am like
Bruh.
uh I don't know. I mean, I'm just like I feel like there's so much more and
I
maybe
feel
you
the
you
exact opposite just because there's so many more ACOGs on defense now. So holding tighter corners and like playing more like objectively positional is from the games that I've been playing. We might be
yeah.
in two totally different skill brackets where you're
Oh,
getting
I'm sure.
crackheads and I'm not, but
Ooh, he's
I
calling you
um
trash.
oh no, absolutely. I mean he should be in a higher skill
No.
level than I am.
no,
Like
that
for
wasn't.
sure.
I could be the trash one.
No,
I
no,
also have you been playing ranked?
no. I have not.
Okay,
I have not jumped into
I've just
that
been
yet.
I
playing
do feel
standard.
like the play styles of ranked and casual is so far different. The casual, I feel like there's a
Well,
ton of roamers.
Yeah.
also by like playstyle, do you mean like your playstyle or just like a overarching playstyle that you've seen? Because like you like to play extremely like up in your face.
I play
aggressive.
I play aggressive as
Yeah.
shit. Like but I've always played like that. Like as a defender, like I always even even this season, I'll play like Legion and I'm fucking like I'll throw down one or two canisters and then I'm just roaming around like fucking getting in people's faces, tossing canisters, running away from them, like just doing stuff that you should not. Definitely, I'm sure people.
Yeah.
Jynxie would kick his fucking camera and never say grim. But
Lord.
Anyway,
It's pretty good actually.
That was actually really good. Yeah.
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 But no, so there's two. The way the season's kind of worked out is created two different play styles. There's still the run and gun play style that I feel like was real heavy last season. I still feel like last season was a lot faster and a lot more roam heavy than what this one is. There's Maestros everywhere, there are Valkyries everywhere. This season, more of the anchor defenders at least have a place where they're not completely outclassed, I think, because of the ACOG changes. So that's been nice. But the attachments have really changed up the game a lot, in my opinion, with what I'm assuming you're running is like either iron sights or low zoom optics. You're probably running the horizontal grip for faster movement speed, that kind of stuff.
So I don't do the horizontal grip. I still do the vertical grip on there, but I mean it's not my play style that I feel like it's changed. It's a lot of like, and maybe it was just because with new seasons you get all of the sweats that come in, right? And just everybody comes,
Yeah.
it's just like
It's very true too.
Yeah.
You know, so
like
it could
if
be.
you've got all the high skill cap people that are popping back on to get into the new
The
season.
biggest thing that slowed the game down for me, though, is the aiming down sight speeds being
oh yeah, that's fucked me
significantly
over.
slower,
Yeah,
which
bro.
I think is what the game needed. That's why I don't feel like it's quite as crackhead, because you can't round a corner and then instantly aim down sight.
That's like the
you used
second
to be
time
able
they've
to.
nerfed ADS time, right? Because they
Oh,
they
you
did
can
that
and
the
you can
previous
feel
season,
it.
right?
Ooh, you can feel it, boy.
Yeah,
Because
you can feel it. And they made they made iron sights give you an ADS bonus, 1x give a smaller ADS bonus, and then lasers now give ADS bonus. So there are ways to kind of get close to what it used to be like. But even if you stack like laser sight and laser and iron sights, you're still not getting back to as fast as you were last season.
No, I'll definitely agree there. That definitely feels, and it has fucked me because I have gone around a corner trying to, and it's mainly when I'm playing like Oryx, like I'll have like iron sights and laser and just trying to be quick about it. And I'll come around that corner and just be like, and I'm just like, oh my God, dude, I feel like I'm moving through Jello trying to like bring my gun sight up. But,
right.
I mean, all in all, though, like I will say, like the game still it feels better than it did last season.
Significantly.
I actually stopped playing mid last season. I didn't even finish my battle pass because last season just felt really just didn't feel that great, comparable to the season I played before that.
Right.
But
I do want to ask you, how have you been adjusting to a 1.5 scope free siege? Were you 1.5 made, or have you been adjusting fine?
What you see here is what I've always used. I've never gone anything like I've tried ACOGs, I've tried all the different ones. I never liked it. This scope. I don't know what this is called. It's like Reflex C.
It's Reflex. Yeah, it's one
Reflex,
of the
Reflex A, or C is what I use, and I've always used it. I don't know why. I've tried multiple different ones. Like everybody preaches about the ACOG, I can't do it. I don't know what it is about it. I just can't do it.
I can't really get into the ACOG either.
So
gotcha.
The 1.5 stuff never really, messed with me too much.
I'm actually a holographic user.
Yeah, I've tried doing that too. I can't do that either.
I've recently transitioned from red dot C to hollow.
I like the hollow.
B? It's whatever the hollow site is that has the circle with the little dot in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's the one I use.
It's the one that I always used.
Yeah. I've moved
Just
away from
clear
that.
sight picture. I feel like a little bulky, but not too bad.
But I will say I love the changes to the shield changes, because now I feel like it's a lot easier to get. Like we were playing, I don't know if it's gonna be this clip or not, but we were playing against a Montong that was just, it was actually, the team got super pissed because we just wiped the floor with them, so they all were running shields, but it including even the clash, but that's a whole different story. But it was one of the situations where the Monton went in, and because he had to choose whether he was going to be offensive or defensive, like we were able to kill him pretty quickly and easily, and it was really nice. Same thing with like Blitz and Fuse and whatnot.
Have you struggled against the new shields and how they operate at all?
No, not really.
No, I feel like the shields are only it's a good positive change with the shields. Yeah. In my opinion, they feel like they actually serve their purpose, which is to be defensive.
Yeah.
Right.
So
how do you
playing as them feels better, playing against them feels better.
Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Let's talk about Deimos, right? Because when I first saw Deimos, I was like, dude, this guy looks badass, right?
I mean, he does look badass.
No, he does. But like his style and everything like that, I was just like, dude, this is my character, this is my jam. And I have tried, and sometimes I can pop off, right? But other times I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because I don't know the maps well enough to know like the soft wall, like the angles of like how many, where is this person kind of, to this soft wall, and how can I like two tap them or whatever. I don't know. I'm not as successful.
You do know you get pinged yourself, correct?
Yeah, no, I know that.
Okay.
And I know it's a delayed ping. But it's just what I'm finding out more with Deimos is that where I thought he was going to be way more aggressive, because like, again, you can just like, you're going to be able to see where they're at. You're going to be able to find them and kind of get to them. I'm finding out that he's a lot more of just like an intel champ, or attacker, where it's just like, hey, you're there to basically tell the team where these people are at. Like that is a, and yes, he's
really good in post plant too.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, and like there's modes where like we got down to 1 or 2, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I can tell you kind of where they are, but I don't know. Where I thought he was going to be super aggressive and be able to kind of be my playstyle, I just found myself not. I don't know.
I think you can. I don't have the skills for it. I've tried probably 10 rounds or so on Deimos trying to figure him out, which probably isn't enough to get him figured out, but I'm absolutely ass with him. I think I've gotten maybe 2 kills total with Deimos. Yeah. I can't win the 1v1s. I can't do anything with him. I had a little bit more success in using him in a end game situation where it's like only 2 or so operators left, but even then, like he is not for me. And I agree with you. He looks really cool. He aesthetically, his kit is like on paper dope. I can't make it work. So
yeah,
I have a few people in my stack that I play with that do enjoy him though, and have been getting some decent use out of him. I know Pika likes him quite a bit, and Jake likes him as well. So
you think he's gonna be strong in like competitive play, like actual like rank or
probably. Intel tends to be a lot more powerful in competitive than it does in like standard or anything that we're playing.
Do you think he's gonna take over the Jackal ban?
No.
That's like an ever long ban. I feel
The
like
difference is
it's-
Jackal gives full team ping, so it's a
Yeah.
lower skill ceiling to use
Yeah.
him. Whereas Deimos, you have to have map knowledge to be able to accurately call somebody out, and
for sure.
then you also have to have mechanical skill to win your 1v1 if you do get into one with him. So
Hmm.
he's interesting. He has a good place in the kit. In this game, I just feel like he's not my jam. It's the same, honestly, similar to Cav. I cannot make Cav work to save my life. Maybe I'm just bad with pistols. I don't know.
Dude, I love Cav. I love playing Cav. I can like that. She's a champ that I feel very comfortable with, but I don't know. It's something with Deimos. I don't know if it's his revolver. I also wonder too, like, do you ever think that there'll be a situation where he will or they will make it to where you can do his live ping and his drones, but then you have the option to switch out and go to his, because I don't think you can, right? You can't switch to his.
No, you're locked into
primary.
the pistol. Yeah.
Like and like, so if you were to switch to his primary, you lose the drone. The drone goes away. Like, do you ever think that would? Because there have been situations too where I'm like,
you can't cancel it.
Can
So you have to use your pistol
Yeah.
while
You
droning.
just hit the ability button again, and it immediately cancels it, and then
Oh,
you can
son
pull
of
your
a bitch.
AK out. So
I didn't know that.
that's something you could do. You could scan somebody for like a second to figure out where they're at, and once you kind of get like an idea of where they're at, shut the scan off, and then go fight them normally. With
well, maybe that's my
hidden knowledge.
play style then. Maybe that's how I need to
give
start
him another
playing.
try. I've tried to make that work too, and it hasn't. So
Yeah.
I've tried all the tricks.
It's I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
This has been a good return to Siege. I feel like Siege is getting back to kind of that old charm that it used to have before the Call of Duty kids took over.
Well, I don't think that we are alone, because we'll jump right into our news section here and talk about how, well, Rainbow Six Siege has rocketed to the top of the Steam charts after 8 years from its release. So we are obviously not alone in this. I think it's saying that it surpassed 201,933 peak users online, and that's only from Steam. That's not even including, obviously what
its
is
highest player count to date.
So
my question
guess,
for you is this the new season? Is this the fact that the most popular Twitch streamer in the world right now is a Siege streamer? Do you think it's a little bit of both?
Do they just have a sale as well?
It goes on sale every time a new season starts. So yeah, it was like 70% off or something. It was like,
I was gonna say, I thought it was something like insane, like 80% off or something like that. It
was like
they do a lot of
very
crazy
crazy
sales.
So
but the game's been out for so long that they can get away with that.
I mean,
and I honestly am surprised it hasn't went free to play yet.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm kind of glad it hasn't though.
They need to get the cheaters figured out before it can go full free to play.
Exactly that. Yeah.
So to answer your question, Bill, I think it's a little bit of both, right? And I think there's also a third category here that we're kind of not touching on, which is there's really a lack right now of strong, competitive, good shooters that are out there. Like, I think that you've got your Halos, you've got your CODs are in the fucking trash, right? Battlefield's kind of making a comeback with the new season. I do want to jump into that to try out that new season, which we'll talk about why I haven't in a minute. But but other than that, like your arena-based, shooters, which I would classify this as a tactical arena-based shooter. You don't like, that's it. There's nothing. What else is out there? Like, there's really not a lot. So
I mean, I've talked to my cousin about Siege a ton of times, and he always just compares it to Call of Duty Search and Destroy, like that, but like ramped up.
I can see that more tactical search, COD search.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's still Siege is still arcadey in a sense, but it's more less so than many of the other games on the market right now.
You know what I think it hits an itch of is you've got your mobile players that like, there's multiple different characters, multiple different play styles, multiple different kind of, hero, whatever else. You've
hero
also
style.
you also have your hero shooter, like you have an Overwatch and things of that nature, right? And then again, it's still got the, the skill gap has become where, again, for someone like me, I was a staunch fucking, I mean, we all know this. Like, I fucking hated this fucking game. I fucking hated it. Me and Bill would go fucking toe to toe on past episodes about this game, to now being like, oh, like, I love it. I'm playing and I'm having a good time with it. So I think a lot of it too, like Ubisoft, as much as we don't like to give them as credit, like, but I'll give you credit where credit's due. Like, they've done a good job of making sure the game feels good. And then, yes, You then have now Jynxie, and Sketch, the top, streamers in the world right now. And love him or hate him, man, I will say, like, Jynxie can be entertaining as shit. Like, watching that dude stream and like, he's loud, he's obnoxious. I get it, but at the same time, like, he's also he can back it up. Like, he went toe to toe with Shroud. I don't know if you guys watched that, and he did a very good job against Shroud. Like, I wouldn't say he wiped the floor. I was almost gonna say he wiped the floor with Shroud, but he did a very good job.
He kind of did.
Yeah,
against
again,
Shroud.
I think Shroud only won 3 rounds of that entire series.
Yeah.
You're taking Shroud, who's an overall amazing competitive shooter, with Jynxie being a very good competitive shooter in Siege being his main game, when Shroud's overall.
And it just
it's
goes
a
to
good,
show
it's
that
a very good matchup, really.
Yeah, mechanical aim isn't everything with Siege, and that's one place where it does differentiate itself from a lot of the shooters in the market right now.
Though I also feel like the aim just factor alone and the gunfights in Siege also allow it to be an easier game to get into, because end of the day, you don't need full knowledge of all the ops, like, right off the bat in early, like, starting areas of the game. As long as you could just aim and shoot, like, you'll get there,
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's some maps, dude.
I don't know about that. Yeah,
dude, Lair. There's some maps I fucking hate.
Being somebody that has not played the game, and when I went back to playing it, or when I went to playing it with you guys, I still felt like I was doing ass. I had no fucking clue what we were doing. I didn't know what we were doing in the maps.
You're gonna need
I was getting shot from places. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, coming into a game like that, Siege is not the easiest game to come into if you've never done something like that. So,
in fact, the reason that Enigma is pointing out are some of the main reasons why I hated the game, because I can't tell you what switch happened to me being like, okay.
You decided to give it a chance.
It was pure bullying is what it was.
That too, probably, yeah.
But I don't know. But I definitely understand that, because there are times where, like, I will get shot from a spot. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? How did I get shot from here? That
was back a while ago when they still had, like, bullet pixel.
Bro, that shit was so fucking annoying.
Pixel peaks were
rough. It was still like that even the last season. Like, it was still like that, where I'd get shot from just nowhere, out of nowhere, just be like, okay, don't know where the fuck that was, but cool.
It's not nearly as bad as what it used to be, though, bud. Like,
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. It's not as bad as it used to be.
No,
but it's still pretty rough.
Yeah,
you can still find ways.
Oh, absolutely. So, but I mean, I posed the same question to you, Bill. Like, what do you think this? Let me ask you, what do you think this means for Siege? Like, do you think, because I think originally what I remember hearing last was, like, we were supposed to get to, like, 1 more defender or 2 more defenders and 1 more attacker, and then that was going to be it. And then they were going to kind of, I think, move to the talks was like moving to something different.
I don't remember that. I heard 100 operators total, so 50-50.
Where are we at now?
And we're halfway there.
We're halfway there. We're at 25 and 25.
Whoa.
Something like that.
Hey, watch him about to get us demonetized.
I do know that 100 operators total is Rainbow Six Siege's end goal.
Is that including recruit?
Yeah, because they're actually reworking recruit next season.
I saw that recruit. Like, I was watching some videos on, like, recruit. Because we've been talking about Siege. Of course, Siege stuff is starting to pop up on my feed. Thanks AI, thanks Facebook, thanks YouTube. But I was watching something. Apparently, like, the new recruits are supposed to be bad guys or something like that. I don't know how.
Yeah, they very well could be. They've been adding, like, with Deimos and stuff. They've been adding villain characters to the
recruits were the enemies all along.
Yeah. So there's 71
we were the bad guys
playable.
all along.
71 operators in the game right now, excluding recruit.
So you only got, like, what, 30 more left?
Yeah.
30 more left.
And then next season we get 2 recruits. There's going to be an attacking and a defending recruit that are going to be different.
How many of them do they usually bring out in a year? 1, 2?
In a year, usually 4.
Is it 4? Okay,
2 attackers,
not
2
bad.
defenders.
Like one
That's honestly not a bad. That's honestly not a bad.
That's 5 more fucking
system.
years.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fresh.
Fucking actually, that's 6 more
more.
years
Yeah.
than that. Like,
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
they have
sure.
no intentions. They have no intentions of doing a Siege 2. They're going to
Yeah.
go the route where they just continue to update and overhaul the engine instead of doing what Overwatch did.
I mean, I'm not.
That's what,
I'm not.
yeah, that's what,
I'm
that's
not
what I was about to
against
say.
it.
I just don't see how they could do like a Siege 2. Like I mean, they could do a Siege 2. They could pull a
It's
fucking
Ubisoft, boys and
Overwatch
girls.
2,
Come on,
but-
let's.
I could
yeah,
see them.
It's Ubisoft. They could do it, but I think that Siege is one of those franchises that they're like really strictly they don't want to fuck over too much because they have built a lot of reputation with the Siege
Right.
community over the years. So
I mean,
So
that's 2030.
yeah, I'm
Holy
for it.
shit.
Especially if they keep on the track record that they're doing. So, in answer to
Hey,
your
maybe-
question, Sin, and we can kind of wrap this up. I think Jynxie is a big part of it. I think both the year reveal and the new season actually launching well, and them kind of leaning back into what Siege is about and what makes it different is a big number 2. I think number 3, for people that give a shit about the lore of the game and kind of the overall operator builds in general, they're moving more away from the like sci-fi-ish stuff and like the stuff that people didn't really care about. Like people didn't seem to really enjoy like the Olympic Games arc
That was
that
fucking
they did with
stupid.
the story.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
We're actually getting back into see like Rainbow doing Rainbow things, going after terrorists, inhibiting other like mercenary
That's-
groups and stuff from doing shit.
It's always
they're
been
getting
an
back
issue
into
with
the
Rainbow
roots of it
Six stuff.
actually being a
Yeah.
war situation. So
Like especially with the recent stuff that they've come out with. I mean, we talked about it last week where we talked about the Wildlands and Breakpoint, right? Like the biggest issue that a lot of people had with Breakpoint was just like how futuristic it went and how like so heavily dependent on it was for like the drones and the technology and everything like that. People just want
Yeah.
a good tactical shooter that is grounded in tactical shooter, not bullshit sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we still have been getting sci-fi-ish stuff, but it's at
Yeah,
least more,
I mean,
it's more
right.
grounded than a
It's
chick
more in
that
line with
sends out a
I was gonna say
hologram.
it's more in line with what you would actually get in today's modern warfare than anything else.
I was gonna
so.
say, and that's what like drew me away from talking about another game that did that, COD and their games. They went so
Yeah.
heavy in the sci-fi realm that I was like, I'm over it. I'm
But-
good.
I think it's just a perfect storm of events, and I'm happy to see Siege is finally getting its time because I've loved this game for years, and I've always felt like it was underrated. So,
Yeah.
happy to see it
Getting its
spiking
spotlight.
up and getting there.
All right, well, it's popular now, so I'm gonna shit on it like I shit on A24. If you play fucking Siege, you're a douchebag. Just kidding.
Thank you for sticking around to the end of the patch notes. And if you want to see more of the pre-patch podcast content, don't forget to check us out live every Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Or you can check us out at anchor.fm/prepatch podcasts or on any site that podcasts are listened to. Much love.